Good morning, friends. Can you believe that it is September already? This is one of our favorite months at Trinity because we celebrate creation all September long. And as our first week, we get to talk about one of the coolest parts of any nature landscape. Can you think of what it is? It's trees. And I know that you might be thinking animals or water or some of these other things are so cool. But there's something unique about the ways that trees change throughout the year that keep us interested. It's like seeing 4 different movies in the same saga over and over and over again. They're so vastly different. We're coming up on fall, and I love summer. I love summer the most. But this part of fall, where all the leaves change and start dropping, is so amazing. Every single tree is like a celebration of what God is doing, that there's great change that's happening, that there's something positive coming. And that's something so beautiful that trees remind us of, is that when change happens, it's not necessarily bad, even if it looks maybe even a little frightening. Like when trees start to lose all of their leaves and they become these big naked stick things growing out of the ground, it's almost like, oh my gosh, I want to just glue all of these leaves back onto this tree. I want to keep it all the same and all the beauty. But there's something so much bigger going on because trees are getting ready to rest for the entire winter because they have a big job in the spring to sprout millions of little buds and leaves and prepare again for summer, which is my favorite season. And of course, you may even be thinking some trees don't have leaves, and you are right. There are some trees, like evergreen trees. This one's made out of plastic, but you've seen a tree like this before, especially up here in Illinois. There's plenty of evergreen trees. But even these guys, they lose their needles during certain seasons, and if you've ever picked up a big pine cone, that is a sign of a big seasonal change. They grow these pine cones and they let them fall so that they can be planted and new trees can come up. There's something so special about the way that trees change with the seasons because even our lives as human beings have seasons. We've entered into a season right now that feels funky. It kind of feels like our leaves are falling off. We're not sure what to make of it. And so many people are starting to talk about, well, when we get back to normal, when we glue all of these leaves back on these trees. But the truth is that God is doing something so much bigger. There is a process that has been happening to trees for millions of years. There is something that God has been doing with our lives since day one. That is that everything that comes our way, God is using to make our next season and all the beauty that comes with it. Even fall, we kind of think of winter as dark, and of course we have like the naked trees. But that's also when Christmas is. That's also when all of our wonderful holidays are. We get to gather with our family and drink hot cocoa, and there's so many people that love winter for all sorts of reasons. Whatever comes next, even if it feels like the change is hard and we're in between things, we know is part of something that God is doing in our lives. So we don't have to be afraid when change comes along, even if it feels a little scary. Thanks be to God for trees and all the beautiful creation that reveals what God is doing. Amen.